Good morning, everyone. It is April 6th, and we are going to start with your warm-up. Before I begin, let me make a couple notes. I will ask for these to be submitted to me each and every time we make notes. So make sure you are submitting them. You can either take a picture of them and email them to yourself or download the Google Classroom app. Make sure you pause this video when I ask you to do a problem on your own. It is better if you copy down the problems beforehand. I always upload the document onto Google Classroom so you have it, and make sure your format is proper. We're going to start by doing the warm-up, but as always, this is our third notes paper. So in your journal, write a number 3, and we're going to go ahead and begin with number 1. I hope you have highlighters and a writing utensil. So my directions are solve for y. So if I want to solve for y, that means I need to get y all by itself. So what's the only other item on that side is 2x. Is the 2x positive or negative? It's positive, so what's the opposite of positive? Negative. So I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. That cancels out. I drop the y down. Now, are these like terms? No, they are not. This has an x. I'm going to put negative 2x in front and plus 6 at the bottom, and therefore I now solve for y. Moving on to number 2. I want to solve for y again, so I got to get this guy all by itself. We need to move the 3x. Ask yourself, is it positive or negative? Hopefully you said positive, so we're going to do the opposite, which is subtract. You always must do the opposite in order to get rid of it. Cross it off. Big key here, you have to drop down this negative and the y. Now, how do I get rid of that negative sign? Well, it's like there's a -1, an imaginary. You're going to divide both sides, and I mean everything, by -1. Then it's going to flip every sign. So a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and then 9 divided by -1 is -9. So that is my final answer. Hopefully you know why I'm putting the x in front. If not, I'm going to write it right in the middle right here, because this is the lesson that we are going to be doing today. Y equals mx plus b. M is the slope. Notice how it's in front. And b is the y-intercept. If you know that, you're going to go through this very quickly. Okay, I want you to try number 3. Go ahead and pause the video. You should have got y equals 7 over 3x minus 11 over 3. Leave it as a fraction. Remember, it's better for a fraction because we're going to be graphing these soon. Notice that a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and then a positive divided by a negative is a negative. Okay, last one, number 4. Pause the video and do this, please. This is our last warm-up. I did this because I wanted to see if anyone did this. Now, what letter am I solving for? Y. So, I shouldn't have moved this 2x to the right. I should have gotten rid of the 4. So now I'm just going to backtrack what I did. I want to get that guy right back over. And really, my only step is to divide by 4. So I now have just a y on the right. And then I have -2 over 4x plus 8 over 4. These can easily be simplified. I'm going to flip this guy, so my y is going to go on the left. This reduces to -1/2, And this reduces to 2. So now, before we move on to the notes, I want you to go ahead and label all of these your slope and your y-intercept, and if the line is going to be going up or down. I will talk to you back in the notes. Make sure you have those written down.